Hello everyone, my name is Gurpreet. My today's topic is compare the urban lifestyle with the rural lifestyle. Village life reflect the rural lifestyle and cities life show the urban lifestyle. The life in both rural and urban areas has its own plus point and problems. Problems in the big cities. In the big cities, there are good arrangement for education. The big colleges, even universities, are are available and there are large number of schools, both government and private, in the cities. But these arrangement do not exist the small town and villages. In big cities provide sufficient medical facilities. In every city there are a good hospital. There are a good hospital which is the poor uh, get free medicine and treatment. Many qualified doctor is also there. these the lack of these arrangements is the villages and small towns. Cities is various cities is having various of people from different culture. But the real India and its customs highly visible in village. It is a fact that village life is due natural due to their self creation by nature. The natural environment of villages is their main attraction. Cities cities uh, cities cities life is unhealthy due to air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. The people the, the people do not get a fresh air to breath. Fresh air bed. And also food is unhealthy. And the village very much away from these drawbacks. uh, the city life is very costly. Their people have live with the live with a lot of pomp and show. A simple life as in a village is not is almost impossible in the cities. The sympathy and close interdependence which is markable in villages life is extremely lack in the cities. Life in villages and in the cities are two to show the contrast
pompous lifestyle. And second, there is a huge gender difference. If we come to the village, the gender difference is really narrowed, while we come to the urban city, come to a city. In the metropolitan city, yeah, in a metropolitan, the girls are treated the boys, like the boys. They are treated similarly. And in village, we can say there are huge grounds of farm fields are available, so that kids can do a lot of outdoor activities. But as the spaces are shrinking in cities, the availability of small parks at the distance from home makes it impossible for the children to spend much of their time at outdoor activities, so they restrict themselves towards indoor activities. This is hampering their growth a lot. They are physically weaker than the rural children. The village children, if we compare them with the village kids, they are really weak. They are really weak. But we can also say that if we take the malnutrition issue into concern, then the city is also leaping far ahead of the rural life. Malnutrition is more prevalent in cities because most of the money they earn goes to show off, so they have to spend little on the mandatory, yeah, edible things, nutritional values they consider the least. That's why they are malnutrition. They are malnutrition. We can say, we can raise those issues, we can raise those topics also. Gender difference, sex difference is the biggest difference, and it's most prevalent in villages or in the city. Villages is most prominent in villages where kids are not treated alike. Girl kids is raised differently than a boy kid. Than a boy kid. There are certain restrictions which are applicable solely to the girls, but boys have certain privileges. Certain privileges. They can roam freely. They can come home at late, and they can engage with their friends as long as they want and roam outside, but girls are not allowed. Girls are not allowed. We have always weary a lot about while it comes to girl kids. It's a big demarcation, but in cities it's not the kind. And second thing, we can raise the issue of clothing. Clothing matters a lot. Clothing differentiated the rural life from urban life. If we compare the rural areas, the most of the girls are wearing traditional suits, dupattas, and the suits which covers their body wholly. They are relying on modest wearing. It's called the modest, modest wearing. Modest wearing is a type of wearing the cloth which covers the body completely. But if we come to city lifestyle, the clothes are shrinking a lot, and besides the not only the shrinking, they are also diaphanous. Sheer clothing is in trend, transparent clothing is in trend. ठीक है. And second thing, we can raise the issue for certain occasions the city people demand different kinds of clothes, but in rural areas the clothes remain almost the same wherever they are going, whichever they are in, whichever activity they are in, wherever they are going, the clothes almost remains the same. There is no change, no big change. But in city life, huge change is seen. For swimming, swimwear is there. For night dress is there. For party, there is a casuals, and while they are going to offices, there formal clothing. There is formal clothing. You can linger a lot. Now you can raise the topic of various kinds of dresses. Various kinds of dresses. Before, prior to, we can leap into the history. We see that past prime was filled with the notion that the cladding, yeah, clothing is for covering us, they prevent us from nakedness, nudity. But nowadays fashion designers have made it, have completely changed the notion. Now we live in the world where it is no longer a concern, it is revered. Now it is revered, nudity is revered. We can raise those concerns also. And we can also say that nowadays many cultures are conglomerating. Cultures are come too close because of the habits, because of the cloth patternings. We don't know where a dress came from, where did it actually origin. We don't know the origin of the dress, but still we love pleasure. We love those dresses which are not ethnic, but they come from the Western countries. But soon afterwards, their launch, they spread to the globe. To the globe, they spread to the globe. It's the huge cultural conglomeration, culture, many cultures mixed together due to this. Due to this, we can raise those issues also. And second thing is that she raised the issue nicely that medical differences are there, schooling is differences are there. Schooling differs a lot while you compare. There are certain areas which we gain from rural, and there are certain areas which we gain from urban areas or cities or metropolitans. Uh, Huge structures. The lifestyle, if we compare the lifestyle urban, the big difference is the housing pattern. Housing pattern, you left the issue of housing pattern. In villages, houses are really big. The family live in a big house, but in rural areas we have to live in the confined spaces. Not that much space is available because the land is too costly. Even the culture of erecting those high towers had made even impossible to own a person, a family, its own roof. ਹੁਣ ਰੂਫ ਵੀ ਆਪਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੀ, ਹੁਣ ਰੂਫ ਵੀ ਆਪਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹੇਗੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੋ ਮਲਟੀ ਸਟੋਰੇਜ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਆ on the rise due to the non availability of the land ਦੀ non availability ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. The land in the city areas really cost a lot, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ. The society, the families are living really near to each other. Their door open next to one another. People meet while they leave the home or enter the home. They meet, they unite, they meet, and there are arrangements for the evenings as well as the occasion is celebrated within that confinement. But in villages that is not possible. We are living far away. We have to walk a lot in order to celebrate a function, and that much gathering is impossible while we are staying in rural areas. Rural stay kar rahe hain to nahi, social events are impossible, regular social events are impossible. But if you are living in a high tower, there are hundreds of families are there. Every Monday or every Sunday you can enjoy, you can celebrate a social event, you can enjoy a social event. Society is the issue. Second thing, you can raise the issue of cleanliness. You can say that the environment in rural is good or bad. You can say sanitation problem is there or not. You can say the infrastructure, because infrastructure dictates our life in a matter visible in every sphere of life. ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਸੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਲਾਈਫਸਟਾਈਲ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਲਾਈਫਸਟਾਈਲ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਕਰਦੀ. ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਰੇਜ਼ ਦੋਜ਼ ਕੰਸਰਨਸ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਕੰਸਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਉਠਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ. ਸੈਕੰਡ ਥਿੰਗ, ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਸਟਿਲ ਰੇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਆਫ ਜੋ ਬਲਜ਼ਨਿੰਗ ਬਿਊਟੀ ਪਾਰਲਰਸ. Nowadays we have seen that many beauty parlors are opening in city area if we compare it to the village area, and citizens are spending a lot on the cosmetic products. But while the simple lifestyle of the rural area denies that concept, they spend really less on cosmetics. And they are the custodians of past ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਇਆ. ਮੁੱਦਨ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ custodian ਹੈ, ਸੰਰਕਸ਼ਕ, CUSTODIAN, ਅੱਛਾ ਵਰਡ ਹੈ. custodian of our past, custodian ਹੈ, ਸੰਰਕਸ਼ਕ ਹੈ. villages are the custodian of our past. The tradition is saved thanks to the lifestyle, thanks to the efforts of those who resides in village, जो village रहंदे हैं ना करके बचे हैं. custodian है, संरक्षक है. We can raise those issues also. At last we have to sum up the all talk in a nice way. We have to say that even though there exists large difference, but due to the globalization, these differences are narrowing. A pattern which become popular even in America is reflected in a small village. The girl kids have started copying those models, supermodels, हो गया, कॉपी करना शुरू कर देता है। गर्ल्स इन विलेज लिविंग इन ए विलेज soil have started to copying those model and supermodel. The thing is that even though they are not following while they are staying in the village, but once they come to the city, soon afterwards reaching there, they started to follow the trend. They started to follow the trend. The trend is in their mind. Trend is in their mind, but impossible to reflect at that time because of their living in the rural areas. But soon after the girl moves to Chandigarh, the completely changed. Because she loved to harbor the changes. She loves to harbor those changes. She is addicted to those changes. But those changes are impossible to cope with in the village lifestyle, in the rural lifestyle. But soon afterwards, you can see yourself, the village girls living in Delhi, or they are living far behind those girls who are born in metropolitan, raised in metropolitan. ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸੱਚਾਈ ਹੈ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਲਮੀਨੇਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਥੋਟ ਨੂੰ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕੰਪੇਅਰ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਦੋਨੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆ ਗਈਆਂ, ਕੀ ਆ ਗਏ, ਦੋਨੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਆ ਗਏ, ਰੂਰਲ ਤੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਕਰਤੀ ਲਾਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ। ਆਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਲਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਕੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਲਮੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਅੰਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਬੋਡੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ, ਚਾਹੇ ਰਾਈਟਿੰਗ ਲਾਓਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ 3 ਪਾਰਟ ਰਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਬੇਟਾ।